Right, so we just finished that era of the first phase of Skiffle bunch with former Hoytonians into establishing ourselves as a unit, our successes, our achievement, and making a name for ourselves, playing in almost every fete in San Fernando time, having fete every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, before all-inclusive fete became popular. We started that actually. We started the first all-inclusive fete in Trinidad and Tobago, and we were featured on the dollar stamp in 1978 because of our achievement and successes. We started here our second panorama here in 1978, and a lot of our achievements were done while we were based here. Our national award in 1991, our CDs, our Dance to the Winds was composed right here. The saga of the San Fernando Hill, 3 seasons, all those tunes were conceptualized and composed on this premises. David Ruther visited us here in 1986 when we were going to the Commonwealth Arts Festival in London to rehearse with the band. And several other artists were visitors here. As simple as it was and very ordinary in those days, something about it that made here unique and the spirit of the area. So we spent our time, we won several panorama competitions, several concerts. The Ranahina Rahiham, one of the Indian pieces that we play was arranged right here. Call to the Ancestors was arranged right here with Earl Rodney. So this is like holy ground for Skiffle. The challenges that occurred indicated that changes had to be made, adjustments had to be made to the structure of the band and how we move forward. The instruments were tired, the tuners didn't understand what we were doing because we were basically at that time masquerading, trying to duplicate the conventional band. By that time, I had brought in a 7-bass into the band because I felt that basically we wanted to play the range and you can't be playing music without a proper bass. Limiting the band. So we approached Bugsy. Bugsy came, we did Dance to the Winds. Dance to the Winds was done in 1984 for the festival. We won the festival by a mile, and it's important to say how that started. I went to Bugsy, I said what I wanted to do. I went to Pat, she said, well, let him come and do the music. Bugsy came and did 21 minutes of music. We started at 9 in the morning and finished about 7 o'clock in the night. We condensed it and brought it down and named it Dance to the Winds. We went to the festival, Pat conducted the band and won her first competition as the conductor with Skiffle Dance to the Winds that year. 1983-1984 period where we look at the way forward. It was my understanding when I look at the instruments that we needed to change the instrument to capture the sound and what our intention would have been. So I took a very brave single stand, which I don't want to go into details here, and invested some money, considerable sum of money in outfitting the band because I met a guy by the name of Herman Gopi. And he and I became friends, and we ordered 12 tenors, 8 harmony pans, 8 guitars, and 2 sets of 7 basses. It was a considerable sum even in those days, and that changed the whole song of Skiffle in terms of our quality and that kind of thing. And Herman Gopi became our tuner. That's when we won the 84 festival, and we started that whole transformation. And that era, to me, I will describe it, I no meaning offense to the others, that have been the golden era of Skiffle between 1983 and 1984 and 1991, 1992. Because that was a phenomenal, committed group of people who was just, we were all relatively young, we were hungry, and we practiced. Nothing was too difficult for us to do. We were the defending champs in 1984, I think it was, 84. And we got a store to go to Canada in the height of the winter. But we were leaving 2 days before the preliminary of Pan Round Neck in Skinner Park judging. So we set up a few players to stay and do the preliminary, just to scrape through with the hope that we qualify, and the nucleus of the band went to Canada. And we went down the park and barely made the final. We came back the Friday night before the final. The final was Saturday night. And we got to the Savannah at about 11 o'clock Saturday. And Bugsy met us there. And we finished a long time waiting for the song by Arrow. And won that panorama. And I said before, we were just committed and passionate about what we were doing. And I mean, the success followed. So we were going to England that year, and we had also commissioned David Ruther to sing with us. So David was going to sing with the band in England in a summer festival. And David on top of the world with the Hammer and Bahia Girls. And then David sang Hammer with us and Bahia Girl in London. We were successful. We went to Montmartre. We had a very good European tour. We went to Scotland and David sang us right through. And that was a great experience for us. But
I just want to make music and have people think and feel and be healed by it. Just to have thanks and appreciation added onto it. It's quite an honor. I feel blessed.
In 1986, you toured with Skiffle. What was that like after all your accolades and winning?
It was a different experience because I've never sung with a steel band before. I mean, it's a different approach. You have to change the way you express yourself sometimes. Steel band just brings a different kind of magic to there's something kind of laid back inside the style of a steel band that kind of you're at a hot tempo, but it somehow slows you down into a nice sweetness. You know? I travel all across the world and there's always a steel band, somewhere, and we, a little country like us, has given this gift to the world. You know? I have a certain kind of confidence in stepping on stage because it's not about having an adrenaline rush, or it's just like me going home. You know, I'm getting into my house and relaxing on my couch or what have you. It's just another day in paradise to me.
Panorama to me as a steel band leader spans over a 6-week period. You have the community involvement, and they have to tolerate the music night upon night, hour upon hour for weeks, right? And they contribute as well to Panorama. You have the really hard work and dedication and commitment given relentlessly by the players.
we came back on 1987 with This Feeling Nice. And phase 2 and Skiffle played This Feeling Nice, and both bands won. There's another record for Bugsy, won the Panorama that year. And it didn't stop there. The following year, we both played the same tune, We Won His Boss, and won the Panorama. Oh. And in 1988, we come on, this time Steven involved in the band, and we won with the 3 seasons. So that would be our first hat-trick, or the first hat-trick in our festival that we won. But we didn't stop there. In 1990, we started another tune called the Amazons. And in 2000, we had to compete in a world festival. And the Amazons became the In the Rainforest. But of course, the parts changed eventually. It became very dramatic, and parts involvement. The team was the Amazons. I still remember that. The president of Venezuela was coming to Trinidad, and we were asked to play on the promenade to welcome him. We wanted to play the Venezuelan anthem and Trinidad and Tobago anthem. But I decided to go one beyond that. So I called the embassy and asked the embassy, well, what kind of music he like? If he could want to play something for him. They said, well, he loves Texador music. So I went and I found out what is Texador music. And I came across a tune called Amparita Roca. So the president came and played the anthem, and he stood up on the entrance to the bandstand. And when he played the anthem, he had to head up the step. And accounting Amparita Roca with speed. Man do a bow turn, fly across that stamps in amazement. And when he done, hand me a piece of paper in Spanish. When I got somebody to interpret the paper, he said, this band must come to Venezuela at your convenience and my cost. I said, all right, keep it in our pocket. About 6 months after, I get ready to come down in the Panyard, news announced on the radio, on TTT. And the Prime Minister is going to Venezuela, and Desperado to be accompanying him. I said, Desperado is mad or what? So I, no offense, sent a fax. Skiffle was invited, bunch to Venezuela, and we want to get some clarification because we are ready to go. Within 2 days, I got a response that the Prime Minister office will contact you. Call back in a half an hour. He said, okay, they'll be invited to go to Venezuela with the Prime Minister, and they're leaving on the Easter Monday morning. I found a factory in a Rima called Tobiki. So I called Tobiki. I said, I'm calling from TCL. I want to order 30 tuxedo suits for an organization. He said, what measurements? I said, small, medium, and large. Shirts and bow tie and cummerbund, whatever. They said, what about payment? I said, what you need? They said they need a purchase order from TCL. I said, that'll be by you in the morning. So I go into TCL the next morning, frightened, tail between my legs, and asked to see the general manager, who was Richard Jackman. I said, well, sir, we got the opportunity of our lifetime, and these are the terms and conditions. And I went ahead and ordered these suits. He said, man, that's the kind of man I like. That's the kind of man I could work, man. So we got these suits, I think it was Good Friday. Is that? Good Friday. But it didn't stop there. We got to Venezuela now, and we jamming in a party. We were supposed to leave the next day. The old white fella dancing in front of the band. Right? He's an American. He said, okay, I want to buy a CD from this band. I said, we have no CD. He said, you have no recording? I said, no. He said, no, that's a problem. He said, how long you have here? I said, we're leaving in the morning. He said, what a shame. If you stay longer, I will record your band for free. I said, well, yeah. So I go in by the Prime Minister. This is the Prime Minister, the President of Venezuela. Carlos Andres Perez, the Prime Minister, and Sahari Bazdi, the Minister of External Affairs. The Prime Minister said, Chief, I want to talk to you. So I said, Chief, we got an offer. This is the situation here. We are staying in Venezuela. Call the gentleman. The man come across. He said, I will record the band, whatever they want. I will, so and so. Andres Perez said, that's not a problem. We'll get them the accommodation. I'll supply everything. We did the recording of a double album and a double CD. The first time in history, actually, any seaman got it in a one shot. Carlos Andres Perez was so impressed with Amparita Roca and invited us for tea in the President's house. So when he finished, he said, this is for the guys, 10,000 US. 10,000 US for the band, a gift to the band. The President invited us back. We did 16, we spent about 3 months in Venezuela. We went from state to state.
And I remember skiffle players, not only as players who could come and a man show them something to play, they could also come on stage and do music right away on the spot. Junior was always the person in charge of Skiffle Bunch, as in those days, and he was always a person you could look up to, and he was a very efficient person.
So I think, as I said before, this group, 1984, 1990, 1991, that really set the tone and prepared the band for the conventional status, and it was a phenomenal group of players.